It's going to start streaming. 1, 2, 3. We are live here in Nanaimo to watch the Canadian Stick Curling Association 2023 Open Division Championship between two Nova Scotia teams. One from the Lakeshore Curling Club and the other one is a combination Yarmouth and Truro club. So Paul Landry and Keith Bennett are from the Lakeshore, Lower Saxville, and Dave and Chuck, well, they're Yarmouth and Truro. So hopefully we're having a good game. They're just finalizing the measurements to see who's going to have last rock here, and I missed the count, so I'm not sure who's got last rock, so we'll get the graphic updated in a moment. So
and typically here in a final, Randy, the person with the best record gets the hammer in the final, but both these teams were undefeated this week, so hence they had to measure to determine who had last rock.
And it looks like Paul Landry and Keith Bennett are going to have last rock with the blue rocks. And Chuck and Dave are starting things off by getting it into the top 4. So okay, so the rules of stick curling say you can't hit until the 4th rock of the end. So they can't hit that rock that's in the 4-foot. So the strategy is to put one in the house to the side, and then hopefully get a chance to get that one out to get their deuce.
Yeah, so, Randy, I found the rules to the this format of stick curling to be extremely interesting, and a little bit of a combination between conventional 4-person curling and your mixed doubles, but not exactly the same. So each team has 2 players and 6 ends each with 6 rocks each, and players alternate end to end. So one end you're the skip and one end you're the thrower. So they throw all the 6 rocks and they each stay at their own end. So no discussion really between the players during the play, but they can call 2 timeouts when they can get together and have a little huddle and talk about the shot. In addition to what Randy was mentioning about no takeouts until the 4th rock, there's no sweeping between the hog lines. So any sweeping has to be done once it crosses the hog line.
So we're going to try and get a double takeout, and just gets one of them, but we got 2 blue rocks in play for Paul and Keith to get their deuce in the first end here. So see what Dave is going to call here. Throwing yellow rocks. Looks like we're going to hit the top one. Get Chuck to play a takeout, or no, they're still deciding whether they're going to play another draw to get second shot or take the one out at the front. So looks like they're going to play the one at the front and not allow too many blue rocks in play in the first end.
Unfortunately, Randy, we didn't get the opportunity to watch the semifinal games between the teams that are out here playing now and the 2 teams that are playing for the bronze medal, so didn't really get a chance to see what their preferred style of play was.
Well, they're obviously playing very well with being undefeated, both teams here this week, so we should have a really good game.
And there were a lot of teams here competing this week, Randy, even though they were separated into pools. There was, 54 teams in the open division?
We had 9 pools of 6 teams each in our open division, so This is the most we've ever had at a Canadian Championship. And so we're so pleased to be here in Nanaimo at this great curling club.
Well, we're really excited to have this event here, and I can tell you that there's been a lot of really positive comments from both the spectators and the athletes this week, and so we really appreciate that. This committee has worked really hard to put this together, and it's just fantastic to see all these curlers in our building.
We really want to thank Mary Ellen Cognier
and Kelly Rice, two outstanding co-chairs for this event. They've been working hard, I can tell you, for a long time.
And all of their volunteers. They got a great group of people here in the club that really helped run this fantastic event for us.
Yeah, huge kudos to them and their whole volunteer committee.
Well, it looks like we've got a nice yellow in behind. Well, maybe it's sticking out a little bit. It looks like
looks like he might be able to get a piece of it there, Randy.
Keith is going to ask Paul to try to tap it out and sit two. Maybe they'll get their two in the first end here. Oh, Keith is up to the hog line, ready to sweep. Is he going to get it by?
It's coming.
Oh, what a shot!
What a shot! With that no sweeping between the hog lines, you need to be pretty accurate on your release. Not that you don't need to be pretty accurate on your release all the time, but when you don't have that benefit of carving it over or keeping it straight.
So Dave's going to try to make a double takeout here. Ask Chuck to see if we can squeeze by that yellow and see if we can get two of them out and save the end here.
Oh, he's coming out again.
Here's Dave out to sweep.
Ready to sweep if he needs to.
Oh, is it going to curl enough? Oh, no!
Just through the posts.
That's a big miss. Paul and Keith have last rock, and they got two in the house already, and they're going to draw for three.
Looks like he's drawing right over to the other side there, Randy, or is he coming up?
Looks like they're going to split the house. Yeah, spread them out to reduce the chance of getting a double.
Out there to help bring it in. Weight
Keith,
looks good.
Come on, sweep, Keith. Yeah, there we go.
Great weight.
Now what are we going to do, Dave and Chuck? We play a freeze, try to save the end. We try and play a hit.
We're going to find out.
Oh, looks like we're going to play a draw. Try and freeze in there to see if we can save the end.
It's a great call if he can come right around and right to the top of that blue.
Yeah, it's a great call if you make it.
As with any game, you don't want to give up a big end early. I mean, you've only got 6 ends here, so there isn't a lot of time to come back if you do get down.
So here's Chuck Dyke releasing the rock and seeing how he's
out to help bring it in.
Oh, it looks like a real good shot. It's going to curl enough.
Doesn't want to bounce open.
Oh, close. Got
Real
second
close.
shot.
Great weight again. Very nice shot.
So Keith's going to ask Paul to just play back ring weight or whatever, see if he can get an inside roll. Maybe sit 4. Oh, what a shot.
Very nicely done.
Wow.
Some great curling right out of the gate here today, Randy.
What a first end. A big 4 in the first end.
They're going to be happy with that.
So your announcers today are Randy Olson and
Terry Palanchuk from right here from the Nanaimo Curling Club.
good to join you.
Good to join you too, Randy.
So 4-0 for Paul and Keith after the first end. So let's see if we can get this game back, get at least a 2 in the next end here for Chuck and Dave. Paul and Keith don't want any guards, so they ended up throwing it right through the house.
Dave wanted to point out too that this is really just the 10th game that him and Chuck have played together. Chuck had another partner that decided to play with his twin brother, I believe. So they haven't had a lot of experience together, although they're both clearly very experienced stick curlers, but haven't had a lot of time to get to know each other and how each other throws and so forth. So congratulations to them for going undefeated to this point. That's just fantastic.
Dave MacDougal is a former Canadian stick curling champion. He won the championship in 2019 with Paul Doucette. He's got his work cut out for him in this game today.
Well, as we've seen, Randy, we've seen some pretty big scores this week, so we know anything's possible in any style of game.
We have seen lots of 3 and 4 enders, so hopefully they get a chance to get a few rocks in play and get back into the game.
Dave also wanted to give a shout out to his wife Marion Smith, his partner, who is at home recovering from a car accident. So we wish Marion all the best.
Well, we got a guard out now, so hopefully Dave can put one around the corner guard and get some rocks in play here in the second end. Well, it looks like it's just going to come up a little bit late, but still usable. Double corner guards now.
Yeah, you tuck one in behind there and it's going to be tough to remove.
So Paul and Keith are going to decide to throw one right on the button. Not worry about the corner guards. To see if we can draw the play right to the center of the rings. Well, it looks like it's keened up a little bit, so they're...
It's coming deep. It's coming really deep. And again, you know, they're playing in the national final here today, Randy, so understandable that there might be a little bit of adrenaline out there, even though they did get that 4 spot in the first end. It's a big game. Now, if Dave can tuck one behind those corner guards, they're going to be in good spot.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here. It needs to curl a little bit. The weight seems pretty good. Oh, what a shot.
Great shot. Beautiful weight.
So now we're trying to get around the guard, and looks like it's going to be a little, oh, it just ticked the guard.
Ticked it over, but ended up in the house.
Well, that's still a good shot. You got shot rock.
Nothing wrong with shot rock.
Okay, Dave and Chuck, what are you going to do now?
Is he going to ignore that and try and get another one in there?
See if we can get 3 or 4 in this end, get more rocks in play. pretty high in the house. If it was back a couple more feet, it'd be a little more room to get it in there, but no, maybe now they're going to decide they're going to play a hit on the blue rock. Maybe they get a hit and roll or something in behind.
Yeah, that's a good option too. That's how you can get buried in there. Just looking for some board weight.
Here comes the shot. Oh, nice, right on the nose.
Right on the nose. It's left it a little higher in the house though, so it makes that really nice roll a little bit tougher.
Paul doesn't waste any time, put the broom down, says, let's hit this.
They can't make them score if they're not in the house.
Keith's delivering, it's curling, it's over curling a little.
Might get the roll.
Oh, we're going to roll a little too much.
Yeah. The elusive hit and roll.
Well, give an opportunity for Chuck and Dave to maybe hide another one in around those two corner guards. Maybe get their deuce in this end.
Sure, a deuce puts them right back in at Randy. Nothing wrong with that. They don't need to get 4 points back all at once.
Well, it looks like they may be drawn to the open side. Get their deuce. Dave's having a discussion at the other end. Is that really what we want to do?
Well, in theory, you do have 2 skips out there.
Well, looks like it's going to come up a little bit
little
short,
bit shy.
but it's still usable. Corner
Sure
guard.
is. Sure is. Ice conditions look like they've really held up nicely, and again, from what we've seen, just great ice all week. Nice curl, nice speed. Kudos to the ice makers that have worked really, really hard to keep this ice as sharp and as good as it is all week. We know they spend a lot of hours here.
Ooh, a little bit speedy here.
Ooh, yeah. A little less weight, he might have been able to just give that little yellow rock a little tap.
Well, there's a draw in for 2 here. There's out at the hog line, see if he needs any sweeping or not.
Ready to help it in. Come on.
You can do it.
You can do it. Great sweep. Hands up from the other team.
There
Good
we
shot.
go, 2 points. Okay, 4-2 after 2 ends of play.
You know, and that's really nice to see, Randy. The other team acknowledging a nice draw, a nice shot. That's really what this game is all about, is the sportsmanship, and great displays of that here this week.
So we'd just like to recognize CIBC Wood Gundy for their title sponsorship of the Canadian Stick Curling Association. Has done a great job looking after us. We can't do this event without sponsors, and we really appreciate the support behind CIBC Wood Gundy.
And Rob Christopher is a member here at the Nanaimo Curling Club, Randy, and he was able to be here on hand and this week, and I believe he will be here to hand out the hardware at the end of this game. So big thanks to Rob.
So we're in the third end and get the first 2 rocks in play here to see if we can get some more rocks in play. Here we go. Again, you can't hit the first rock that's in play, so they put it in the top of the button. Great shot.
And we'll see if Dave and Chuck change their strategy here just a little bit, going from up 4 points to now being ahead by 2. But they do have the hammer, so definitely to their advantage.
Looks like it's a little heavy.
Yeah, looks like he was trying to just give that yellow a little tap back.
So Dave and Chuck can see if they can put a guard on that, and they might get a steal out of this.
Oh, I said Dave and Chuck changing their strategy, and I meant Keith and Paul. Of course. Keith Bennett and Paul Landry have hammer this end.
A little deep for the guard, so now they've got 3 rocks in place, and now they can play a hit on this 4th rock at the end. So here comes Paul with a takeout. Needs to curl a little bit. Ooh, that wasn't
not quite the outcome he was hoping for there.
Well, there we go. Let's see if we can get another guard out there this time. So this is the 4th game of the day for these 2 teams. Started at 10 o'clock this morning in the 16s, and they're now down to the final 2 here.
Yeah, bit of a marathon here the last day, when they've had relatively easy draw times the last few days, I'm going to say, Randy. No back-to-back games with this many teams. It was easy to spread them out.
Yeah, with 6 teams in each pool, they only had 5 games, everybody, so we had 3 days to spread those games out. So most of the teams played 2 games a couple days and 1 game the 3rd day or whatever, but now they've got 4 in a row to see if they can win the Canadian Stick Curling Championship. So that guard really didn't guard the yellow, so it gave Paul and Keith an opportunity to do a hit and roll. So now they've got they can still see a little bit of, I think, the blue rock, so they're taking quite a bit of ice here, Chuck and Dave, so it looks like they're just going to try and tap it back a little bit. They only need to tap it back a couple of inches or whatever, so should be able to get the shot rock. Looks like it's just a little bit late. Just a little bit late. Well, Paul and Keith, what are they going to do? They got 1 in. They got last rock. I'm going to guard it up, or maybe see if they can get 2nd rock in place here. Trying to have a dialogue, one end to the other. Looks like they're going to try and play the guard.
Keeping in mind that they do have those 2 timeouts if needed, if they'd like to get together and have a little chat about it.
Yeah, the game goes pretty quick. It's usually played in less than an hour, so 6 ends, 6 rocks, and make some friends.
Again, that slogan, I think it's fantastic, Randy. certainly goes along with the spirit of the game.
Well, there's Keith putting that guard in a pretty good position. Well, Dave's going to have to remove some guards to see if he can maybe do a couple of tap backs and see if he can get that one closer to the center there. There we go. Back 8 weight, so do tap, tap, tap. Yellow onto the blue. See if we can see a shot of the game here.
I'd say TSN turning point, but we're not TSN. We'll call it the NCC turning point. Looks like he might be a little bit wide.
Well, open it up a little bit.
Up.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
So Keith is going to ask Paul to put a guard out there. See if they can protect their one and maybe have a chance to draw for 2 if the last stone, if they get enough garbage out there.
Yeah, it looks like they've still got lots of room to come around the other side here for their second point if needed.
Well, looks like it just got over. Looks like it's in a good spot. Dave's got any angle raises or anything that he can do to see if he can somehow manage to get shot rock. Well, he says he might be able to have enough curl if it's just the right weight. Tap
Yeah, it
that
looked like
yellow
it
one
just
back.
over curled a little bit at the end there, and maybe with just a nice board weight.
Even back 8, back 4. It's definitely going to need a little bit of curl in there to get it onto the blue rock.
A steal here could be a big momentum shift too.
We have some technical difficulties with one of our cameras, so hopefully it'll come back again. Maybe it's on a coffee break.
It's only the third end. It's back. It's coming back.
Oh, it just ticks the guard.
Well, that's the danger when they're close like that.
Gonna do a draw or hit and roll. Get his 2 points. Keith says, draw it in there. You can do it. So here's Paul throwing the last rock in the third end.
Well, looks like he's maybe... Is he going to play the draw, or is he going to do the little chip off? No, he's playing the draw. Oh, might get the chip off. Yes, he did.
Did he roll far enough?
Did he roll far enough?
They're having a look at it. And I think they got one.
I think they got one.
We'll just confirm that in a moment.
Sound off.
It's on.
So now into the fourth end here, we're we're clipping right along through this game. Again, only 6 ends, moves very quickly, so Blue's saying we don't really need any of these rocks in the house. See if Chuck and Dave can generate a little offense here, maybe with a corner guard. You know, even though these curlers have only curled now 10 games together, both long time curlers that have given a lot back to our sport, and I'd really like to point out that Chuck Dyer is been coaching the juniors for over 20 years now, and he's been managing the Learn to Curl program for the last 8 years at the Truro Curling Club. So big thanks to Chuck for all of his work in that, in helping grow our sport.
And we have confirmation they did only score 1 in the end, so we've got the score correct at 5-2. Playing in the 4th end. Chuck's just having a look behind him to see how many rocks are in play, to see whether he can actually hit that rock out or not.
That was the 3rd rock, I believe.
Around the guard? Are they going to freeze? Are they going to tap it back?
We shall see. I think they've opted for the freeze, Randy. I want to throw about the same weight either way, so.
There's Dave throwing this rock. Looks pretty good. He's going to tap it back a little bit. And it looks like it's might be a biter.
Biter at the back.
Ooh, got his own out. Got everything out. Cleared everything.
Clean the house. Well, it did look like he wanted to keep it clean.
Well, they got a corner guard. See if Chuck and Dave can get one in behind here.
See if they can use it now. That'd be great. Chuck Dyke also wanted to give a shout out to his wife Barb and daughter Heather and his son Chris, who's in Winnipeg. Looks like we got a nice one coming in here, Randy. Might be a little bit deep.
Oh, looks really good. Nice shot.
Great weight. Great weight. So the decision, do you try and come in and run that, or you
being 3 up, I'm thinking they're
might want to run the guard.
Yeah, we're hit and roll in off it, but it looks like they're just going to play their normal shot which they've been making lots of.
They sure have.
Just
apparently
draw
all
it in
day,
there.
all the time for the last few days. Now, Randy, you also played in this event. Were you in the same pool as either of these teams?
I was not. No, I managed to avoid playing these two. But anyways, it's been a great event. Our largest number of curlers and teams, 72. It's most we've ever had at a Canadian Stick Curling Championship. So.
Well, I think that really speaks to how this style of game is really growing, Randy. And, you know, again, it was great to see some of the locals come out and and watch this event, and hopefully it'll generate some more stick curlers in our club.
Yeah, and next year's Canadian Championship 2024 is going to be held at the Leaside Curling Club in Toronto. So we're going to be in Ontario. So again, you don't have to win your provincial championship to play in this event. When the registration opens up in September, October, if you're the first to pay your money, you get to come and play in a Canadian Championship. So please come and join us.
I mean, that's pretty special. And I mean, of course it's special to win your province. There's nothing like putting on that provincial jacket. But to have the opportunity to come and compete for that title without having to go through that avenue, that's pretty special.
Yeah, we've had lots of Canadian champions that have not won their provincial title. So please come and join us. Well, we definitely got two guards, and I'm not sure who's shot rocket there at the back. Is it?
Kind of hard to tell. Are we going to have another bet?
It's definitely yellow.
Oh, I think it must be blue. Well, it's blue now.
It's definitely blue now.
That was a nice shot.
Yes, blue is sitting 2 now.
Great weight. Just barely by that guard. Great shot.
Well, Chuck and Dave have got their hands full on this end. They got the guards if they can make a draw around. Well, it looks pretty good. Got the
They've
weight.
really figured out the ice and the weight to get around those corner guards.
What a great shot.
They're putting on a little bit of a show here today, Randy. And again, I really have to emphasize the skill at finding that perfect weight, because again, you don't have those sweepers between the hog lines really helping get that rock to its point. So kudos to these players to really have that weight dialed in.
Another great shot. Well, they might be able to tap it over a little bit. Looks like they're really having a close look at it. Who's shot? Looks like blue is shot, yeah. So they need to tap it back a couple of inches, and they might have 2 yellow here to close this game. Get within 1.
Two really would be big here for Dyke and MacDougal, so
see if Dave can pull this one off. Has it got enough weight? Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
Wow.
What a
fantastic shot.
2 points. We're now 5-4. So we'd like to also mention that there's other sponsors that help us out here for this event. So we're just going to quickly run through some of these sponsors that you see on the screen, and really appreciate their support for our event here in Nanaimo.
Yeah, without these sponsors, these events simply aren't possible. So again, a huge thank you to all the sponsors who helped support this event.
So we're into the 5th end. 2 ends to go, 1 score between the games. So the big 4-ender at the first of the game, we're back to 5-4.
And we should also point out, Randy, that there is another game going on right now, which is the bronze medal game between the Purvis Smart team out of Alberta and the Herald team out of Ontario.
Sorry, I just don't have a score at the moment. But
we don't have a score, so we can't update you on that, but the scores are available online if you'd like to check that out.
So Chuck and Dave have got their center guard out. See if they can steal one, tie the game up here in this critical fifth end.
Well, they certainly showed us they've got their draw weight, judging from that last end.
And there's Paul and Keith drawing right around there to top of the four. So
another great shot.
We got a game on in this end. Rocks in play. I apologize for one of my cameras that likes to do a little pixelating. So obviously don't have enough streaming capacity here on this camera but hopefully everybody's enjoying the game.
Yeah, I have to say that the ability now to stream these games, at provincial levels and here at national levels, it's just fantastic, because it's one thing to see the scores posted online and understand how what the score is in the game, but to actually watch the game and see how those scores are obtained is just fantastic, and give these players the opportunity to let their family and friends watch the game.
And if they're the winners, they might watch it several times
might.
After the game.
They might.
Well, that was a great draw there by Chuck and Dave into the back of the four. So this is going to make this end really interesting.
We've got ourselves a game.
Oh, these people don't miss. They're really making some great shots.
Now I know why you said you were happy you didn't have to play them. I have to say, these two teams did make the comment that it was kind of ironic that they had to come all the way out to British Columbia to play each other when they could have simply done it at home. But I think this was a lot more fun.
Well, Nova Scotia certainly has a very strong group of stick hurlers, and they've got a number of clubs that have a number of leagues, and really appreciate all the support from the Nova Scotia Stick Hurling Association and all they do in Nova Scotia to promote the game. Well, looks like that was another good shot.
Great shot.
Well, Paul might be able to make a double here to have two blue counters here if he can just hit this right. No,
we got one of them.
Now who's shot rock?
Now who's shot rock? Well, I'm still going to go with blue.
Looks like blue is shot. Way to go, Terry.
Is that what, one for me now? Just directly behind that guard, though. Great
Yes.
positioning.
So it looks like he might have to draw right to the back, to the
Back yellow.
black yellow one to get shot rock.
Looks like he needs to curl a little bit more.
A little heavy.
Yeah, just a little heavy, that little bit extra weight, and it didn't quite catch that same curl.
Okay, Paul, you're going to get the second rock in here to get the 2. I guess we've got a couple more rocks to go yet, so looks like Chuck's getting ready to throw his.
He's out there helping it in.
He's going to bump it in.
Yeah, I think if he hits it just right, they both go.
It depends where that guard is, if he can see enough of that. He probably only needs to see about half the rock, maybe 2/3.
I think so, yeah.
And should be able to get rid of both of those blue. Of course, we're not directly behind the sheet, so we can't really see.
But we're behind the glass, Randy, and I mean, any shot is possible when you're behind the glass.
Well, looks like Dave's thinking that there might be not enough space, so he might have to play the run back.
I don't think either one of them have used a timeout yet, have they?
They haven't. This might be a
It's
good
always
time
an
to
option.
have a discussion there to see how much they can actually see of those 2 blue rocks. But here comes the throw anyways. Chuck's going to deliver it, hopefully get a straight run back.
Just a bit off the face, yeah.
Over-curled a little bit. Well, now. Looks like Keith is counting rocks. Is this the last rock yet? Have we got 2? And he says, oh, he's gonna put a guard up. Hopefully Keith has counted right. Looks like Chuck's got another rock to throw here, so.
It's been a while since either of them have thrown a guard, just that one in the first.
They might be doing the run back again.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it looks like he's just over curled again.
Yeah, hopefully put this game out of reach here. Still looking to see who's got shot rock.
It would be really helpful to us if they would just tap one of the rocks and show us.
Well, it looks like they're going to have to tap one of them up or whatever to score in this end. Here comes Paul. Is it light?
He's coming out to help.
No, that looks like a really good shot. Looks like that's a counter.
Pretty nice spot.
Dave's going to have a look at it. How many are they going to count? They count 2 at least, and a measure for 3.
And we have a measure. I should also say that Dave MacDougal wanted me to give a shout out to Penny LaRock, who was the first skip out of Nova Scotia to win a Scotties. And it was also Penny that got him to try stick curling. So looks like that was a pretty good decision.
So the teams are measuring their own rocks. We don't need the official out to do the measurement for us. So hopefully they'll make a decision here and
maybe even show us which one is shot. Well, he's made a motion, but we can't quite see what he...
No idea. We're going to give them 2, and they might have scored more, but at least 3 up going home. And they've started to throw the rocks through the house, so they don't need any more rocks in play.
So last end here, Dyke and MacDougal are going to have to find a way to get some rocks in play and score some points.
So that's only the second rock at the end, so they're not allowed to hit it out. So I think they're just going to throw their rock through and hopefully keep a minimum of number of rocks in play.
I'll call another one in. Get another rock in there.
Are they going to split the house, or are they going to put another guard up?
I think the call was to split the house. I think
Okay.
he kind of motioned either the guard, or if it did come in, that was okay too.
Looking for a open miss on a takeout.
Well,
Which
we
has
haven't
happened before.
It has happened before. We haven't seen a lot of big misses in this game, and not that we'd expect to in a championship final.
Just a little bit short, but it's a good corner guard.
Very usable.
He says, I want to throw the other turn, so Paul's going to give him the other turn to throw the hit.
You know, as a thrower, when you ask for more ice or the other turn, you got to make sure you make it.
And what happened? A open miss.
An open miss.
Now, can they split that one in to get 3? Draw around first.
Even just come right around, get another one buried in there.
It's going to make this end exciting.
Down to the finish. That's what you want. Chuck's coming out to
Got enough weight this time to get in behind?
baby it in, see if he needs a little help.
No, not too heavy.
Don't want to go through.
Looks really good.
Oh, what a great shot. Right in behind the guard.
All right, Keith, you're going to hit your broom and get this one out of here.
Arm goes up, looks like he's got it this time. Little roll to the middle.
Yeah.
In a row, especially if I make it the first time.
Well, looks like it's going to come right up to it. Freeze up to it. No, not a little bit short, but right in front.
Good shot.
So now that we got a timeout.
Our first time out.
So Keith is going to walk down to the other end and have a look at the house and see where the rocks are and decide what type of shot he wants to play.
And I feel this is important as a thrower too. Sometimes when it's a really crucial shot like that, to have the shot called is one thing, but be able to come down and have a look at how the rocks are really truly positioned in the house can be really, really beneficial to the thrower.
You definitely don't want to whiz one by.
Skinny, long double too. I'm not sure that.
See what they're going to do to see if how to get one of the yellow ones out. I guess another choice would be to put a guard on it so they protect the one that they have in there to make it very difficult for Chuck and Dave to get their 3. They would leave them an angle raise for 3.
Yeah.
Would just tie the game if it's kind of a little bit dangerous to play the guard, but looks like that might be the call.
Might be the call. My philosophy as a skip has always been, I want to give my team the easy shots and I want to leave the hard shots for the other team.
So I'm not sure. They might be coming into play a little freeze against 3rd or 4th shot here, but or a guard. We'll see where it ends up.
Looks pretty good. Might have over curled a bit, but
Oh, might be able to tap that yellow straight back. And is there enough room there? Looks really close, edge on edge. Might be able to sit 3. Back line weight.
Good call. I like that weight call.
Even if it over curls a little bit, hopefully he gets to save the yellow rock in the house. And
Definitely wants to keep his rock in the house at this point.
well, they're coming out to the hog line to see if they need any sweeping. Looks like it needs to curl a little. Oh, it needs to curl quite a bit.
Needs to curl a lot. Oh dear.
That's not really what they wanted.
No, it looked like he had real nice weight for the call.
It just didn't curl enough. So, looks like they're going to play another guard. Still give them a chance. Play an angle raise in there for 3 points. Might be the only shot they have after this one is done.
Let's see where they can get this nicely positioned. They're in pretty good spot.
And it came a little bit deep. Now what are they going to do?
Now what? Now it's pretty tough to hit that blue because you can't hit the yellow back onto the blue. So
looks like Chuck and
they're going to have
Dave
a talk.
are going to have a timeout and try and figure out the angles on here to see if there's a shot available for 3 points. Unfortunately, we don't have an overhead camera that we can see the angles on the shot here.
So I was just going to point out here, I just got an update on the score in the bronze medal game, and after 5 ends, Smart Purvis is 4 and Harrell is 3, so a 1 point difference there.
Well, they're having quite a discussion. Must be just about 90 seconds, and they see if the official will come out and tell them that they've had their 90-second discussion and make a decision on what they're going to do.
I think our officials are probably keeping an eye on them, but knowing this is the championship final, they might give them a little bit of a leeway.
Yeah, we're very happy to have our officials and our committee, and everybody does a wonderful job here at Nanaimo Curling Club.
Thanks for that, Randy. I know, I see the officials here first thing in the morning, and they're here well after the final draw just to make sure that everything is recorded properly, and lots of work goes into that.
Well, I think they got to do the angle raise. They might need to actually chip the one of the reds, or the blue. There's no red rocks.
There's
Randy,
no red.
What are you talking about? But he might be able to chip
Yeah.
the blue and then come back and hit the other blue to actually
Kinda
get 3, because it looks like the one blue may be third over the yellow at the
Correct.
On the right hand
It
side.
does look that way.
So they need to
It might
eliminate
just scooch that back.
2 blue and count 3.
Wouldn't that be a turnaround?
That would be the shot of the day.
It would. The NCC turning point.
So they've figured out the ice and the weight, and we'll see if Dave can pull off a miracle shot here.
Looks like he's throwing some weight. Just didn't quite get enough.
Didn't curl enough.
Yeah.
And that's it, folks. We have
Just
a final.
hit it a little too thick. All in all, a great game, and congratulations to Paul and Keith on their Stick National Championship, and to Chuck and Dave on their silver medal in their 11th game together.
So Paul Landry and Keith Bennett from Nova Scotia is going to be our 2023 Open Division Canadian Stick Curling Champion.